Hi everybody, my name is John of Birthstone Millinery and welcome back to my channel. So last week I made an error, so let's just roll that tape. Next week actually isn't monochrome black and white, that's the week after. Next week is December birthstone, which is amethyst, I believe. Or is it turquoise? I think it's turquoise. I can't remember. I do have it written down. Yeah, I called that aquamarine when in fact it wasn't aquamarine, it was turquoise. So here we are with the turquoise. So while I was at Racello Millinery Supplies, I came across this gorgeous braid. So Racello Braid, I don't know how to pronounce it. This beautiful turquoise braid. I was like, yes, perfect. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's perfect. The colour is right. I'll figure it out once I go to make it. And then I realised I've never worked with braid before. So this video is how to make something with braid as well, because is it perfect? No. I learned a lot from doing this. So this is a Racello Braid. I believe it's Swiss. I think I'm correct at saying that, with some copper Chinese crystals, because in turquoise you get that coppery veins that come through in some of them, and then just finished off with a plain crin bow. I haven't worked out how to attach it to the head yet, but I did make it into a slightly saucer shape. So yeah. Oh, this was going to be a short video, but I'm still going to put timestamps here, so that'll help you find out where is what. So obviously we've got the tutorial, we've got the all that sort of stuff. That'll all be in the description box below as well as on screen. So if you want to see how I made this, let's get started. Just want to note before I get into this video, while I understand the basic principles of working with braid on paper, I've never actually done this before. So if I'm doing it wrong, please let me know in the comments. Don't come for me, just let me know constructively in the comments what I did wrong and what I could do better next time. So this is my first time trying to figure out how to mould braid around shapes before sewing. And as you can see here, I initially wanted to try a saucer block, but for some reason I just couldn't get it to sit how I wanted. Yeah, maybe I was doing it right, I don't know. So I took off the saucer block and I used the presser block that came with the saucer block instead, and I pinned the braid onto the block, overlapping the edges by about a few millimeters, and once I'd done a section, I sewed the braid together, doing my best to hide the stitches in the folds of the braid. I kept pinning a few turns and then stitched them together, repeating until I had covered the block. I'll be honest with you, I can't remember exactly how I started it, because, well, I just didn't know what I was doing. So yeah, this bit here is me starting it, so maybe you can see what I did there. The braid I'm using is this classic Racello. Is it Racello or is it Racello? I'm going to say Racello. So this braid I'm using is a classic Racello in Aruba Blue from Racello Millinery Supplies, and it's priced at $7.50 per metre, and I purchased 5 metres of it, which I pretty much used all of it. So once I'd done the base bit, I removed all the pins and I placed it onto a saucer block, and I used the presser to keep the bit I'd already done in place, and then I started to form the brim and I just kind of wound it around the brim. So I ran the braid around the brim. Oh my God, there's too many bees. And what I tried to do is have it so then there was a slight join on the part where the base hits the brim. Just then there's something there to be flexible on that section there. And then to end the braid, and once again, I don't know if I did this correctly. I don't even know if I did any of this correctly, to be honest with you. But this worked for me. I cut the end and I turned it into the bottom of the brim and I pinned it at the centre back. And then I just went round and I sewed the brim together. And at this point, I'd kind of learned my best way to sew it, which involves sewing through the top braid, picking up the back of the bottom braid and back through onto the top braid, doing my best to hide the stitches. Yeah. I mean, it still turned out though. It still turned out. While I'm showing this montage of me sewing the braid, here are some facts about the birthstone for December. December has 3 birthstones: Tanzanite, zircon and turquoise. All 3 are blue. When Turkish traders introduced this Persian blue stone to Europe via the Silk Road in the 13th century, they influenced the gemstone's name. The word turquoise comes from the French pierre turque for Turkish stone. I probably butchered that French. In the ancient Persian Empire, the sky blue gemstones were earlier worn around the neck or wrist as protection against unnatural death. If they changed colour, the wearer was thought to have reason to fear the approach of doom. Meanwhile, it has been discovered that the turquoise certainly can change colour, but that is not necessarily a sign of impending danger. The change can be caused by the light or by a chemical reaction brought about by cosmetics, dust, or even the acidity of the skin. Okay, so after all that sewing, this is what I have. So this is, in fact, have I pinned it down? I have. I pinned it down. Where have I pinned it down? This is what I have. This is how it kind of turned out. This is not exactly how I wanted it, but we're going to work with this. So what I want to do is, initially I wanted it as a hat like this, but it's not going to work. So I was thinking of turning it into like a salsa. Where's the back? So this, where it joins, is the back, and that's going to come up very much like this. Now, one thing I did notice here, so if you look, it's not very secure. Like, you can see my finger coming through. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to secure this section here where the join is. I'm just going to do some very small stitches just over it. I'm probably going to use something to cover this anyway, and just go through and see that there's a bit of a gap there as well. So I'm just going to sew that into place, and then so I'll just stick that back on the head. Now if I'm a bit not in focus, let me just move this. Here we go. Hi. So I actually have, so I have some of this left. In fact, this angle is really bad. I've got some left, and I have some crin as well. So what I'm going to do now is make, I'm not sure, probably a bow. I think I'm going to look at trying to make a bow. Something like, I'm not sure, like this. I don't know. Don't know if that's going to work. Because remember, we need to put crystals on, because this is a Birthstone Millinery one, so. But I kind of like this idea of like a double bow thing. Maybe I could work with something like that. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Oh no, instead, that can go there. Right, okay, that's what we're doing. That is what we're doing. So the bow was made by 2 simple crin bows and using some braid for the center. You don't need me to tell you how to make a bow, so I ain't going to do a step-by-step tutorial for you. But yeah, I just made 2 simple crin bows and then used the braid to hide the join in the centre. And then to finish, I added some copper Chinese crystals, which these sat on the joins. And I added this not only as this is Birthstone Millinery, so we need sparkles, but Turquoise sometimes does have this copper detail in some of the less than perfect pieces. And if you know me, I'm full of imperfections, so it was perfect. And I think it just adds that extra level of just fabulousness, so that's why we added them. So yeah, braid, it was interesting to work with. I can see why people use a sewing machine. However, personally for me, I don't like I prefer hand sewing anyway, so you know, I think I'm going to stick with the hand sewing. It did take quite a while to hand sew, and as you can tell, I didn't put the bow on the inside, I actually kept it on the outside. So yeah, that was Birthstone Millinery for December. Thank you to my Patreon, Reggie. Once again, all your support is very grateful. It's people like Reggie who just help with the, you know, the funding of this channel, and you know, it does, every little helps. So thank you so much. Question of the week. So last week I asked you what is one good thing and one bad thing about millinery, and I see just the one question. So here we go. So this is from Janice. Janice is a regular answer on here, so thank you, Janice. I know I can always rely on you to give me an answer, so you know, thank you, it's very much appreciated. So the good side of millinery is that we get to do what we love, and that is creating beautiful hats. Love that. The downside is the time spent in developing these beautiful creatures. The downside is that the time spent in developing these beautiful creations is often undervalued, which is so true. Oh my word, the true words have never been spoken. So thank you, Janice, for your answer to question of the week. So this week's question of the week is, if you could only work with one material, one base material, so cinnamon, straw or felt, just going to use those 3. Which one of the 3 would you prefer to use forever? You're not allowed to use any of the other 2. You're going to use one of those forever for the rest of your millinery career. Which is the one that you would choose? Personally, myself, I would probably... I don't know. I feel like you get more versatility out of cinnamon. Yeah, I feel like you get just a little bit more versatility out of cinnamon than you do of the other 2. I think mainly due to straws and felts tend to be on the smaller side compared to, say, a couple of meters of cinnamon. You can actually, I feel like you can do more with it, even if you had a small amount of cinnamon, for example. So cinnamon would be mine, would be my choice, yeah. I want to invite you all to my first annual JWH Millinery Christmas party live stream. So usually in Christmas I do like an advent calendar. This year I'm not doing that due to, you know, because it kind of costs a lot of money to do, and not a lot of people watch it. So I tried to scrap it for this year. I just said I'm going to do a Christmas party live stream. So I am going to be launching the first 3 pieces from my Spring 21 collection, so you'll be able to get to see them before anybody else. I will be going through millinery on TikTok because, yeah, millinery on TikTok is a thing. And maybe some things that are not necessarily millinery but are hysterically funny because I've just downloaded TikTok because I'm thinking of doing things on TikTok as well. And so yeah, and I also want to get you guys involved as well. So for you to get involved, what I need you to do is find me on any social media, on the any social media I'm listed. So you've got Twitter, you've got Facebook, and you've also got Instagram. Let me know that you would like to take part, and if there's any specific images that you want to showcase, let me know what they are, and I'll be going through as many as I can, showcasing other people's millinery to everybody that's watching. So this is your official invitation. Make sure you, if you go to the description box now, you'll see a link to the live stream. Just set a reminder, it will remind you. It means I'm going to get up at like 7 o'clock in the morning to do this, but you know, these are things that we have to do. Well, thank you everybody so far. We're just in the beginning of December, so this is the first of the Christmas ones, I think. Next week is a bit of a dark and moody one. Then we have a Christmas one, we have a New Year one, so I've got a lot of sewing to be doing. And obviously it's warm here in Australia, and I'm probably going to take a week off if I can. I don't know, but I might have to take some things with me to sew and film and all this. So yes, lots of things coming up this month. Lots of new ideas for stuff for 21. I'm so excited. And so yeah, let's end this video. Great, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Turn on notifications. And if you are interested, Patreon's down below with all the links to everything that I used, as well as all my social media. Until then, I will see you next week. Bye. So here's a couple of videos for you. This is one that YouTube thinks you're going to like. Maybe the algorithm is better than me. And this one at the bottom is something that I think you want to watch. So if you haven't seen this video, make sure you click on that now.